They didn't chase you. They didn't stop you. They let you walk away as if it didn't matter, and somehow that silence hurt more than any argument ever could, because being unchased feels a lot like being unwanted. When someone doesn't chase you, the pain doesn't come immediately. It arrives later, quietly. When your mind starts filling in the gaps, you replay moments, searching for signs you missed. You wonder if they ever cared the way you did. You question whether leaving was a mistake, not because you wanted to go back, but because no one tried to stop you. This isn't about rejection, and it's not about ego. It's about the specific kind of hurt that comes from realizing someone was willing to lose you. Because when someone doesn't chase, it creates a story in your head that you were easy to let go of, that you weren't worth fighting for, that your absence didn't disrupt their world. But what if that story isn't the truth? What if not chasing wasn't a lack of feeling, but a lack of emotional capacity? Stay with me until the end, because once you understand why some people don't chase even when it hurts them, you'll stop blaming yourself for the silence that followed. Why not being chased cuts so deep? Being chased isn't about pride, it's about reassurance. When someone reaches for you as you're leaving, it tells you that you mattered, that you were seen, that you were worth the effort. So when they don't, the mind fills that space with self-doubt. Was I asking for too much? Did I misread the connection? Did I care more than they ever did? And the truth is, not being chased doesn't hurt because you wanted pursuit. It hurts because you wanted confirmation. Confirmation that what you felt was real, that the bond meant something to both of you, that you weren't alone in carrying the emotional weight. Their stillness made you feel replaceable, and that feeling stayed longer than the goodbye itself. But here's what most people never realize. Sometimes silence isn't indifference. Sometimes it's emotional paralysis. Why some people don't chase, even when they care. Not everyone knows how to fight for connection. Some people shut down when emotions get intense, not because they don't feel, but because they feel too much and don't know what to do with it. Chasing requires vulnerability. It requires admitting, I might lose you, and that scares me. For some people, admitting that fear feels more dangerous than losing the person itself. So instead, they stay still. They convince themselves that letting you go is the mature choice, that if you wanted to stay, you would, that reaching out would make them look weak. But what they're really doing is protecting themselves from rejection. Their silence wasn't confidence. It was self-defense. They didn't chase because chasing would have forced them to face their own emotional limits, their fear of not being enough, their fear of asking and still being left. While you were questioning your worth, they were wrestling with emotions they never learned how to express. Why their silence was never a measure of your worth. When someone doesn't chase you, it's easy to believe a painful story, that if you were more important, they would have fought harder. That if you mattered enough, they wouldn't have let you go so easily. But worth is not proven by pursuit, and silence is not a verdict on your value. Their inability to move toward you was about their limits, not your lack. Some people don't know how to ask for what they want. Some don't know how to stay when emotions become uncomfortable. Some mistake detachment for strength. You didn't leave because you weren't enough. You left because the connection reached a place where effort could no longer be one-sided, and even if they had chased you, it wouldn't have fixed the imbalance that already existed. Someone who is capable of meeting you emotionally won't watch you walk away in silence. They may not chase dramatically, but they will communicate, clarify, and show care. If you weren't chased, it doesn't mean you weren't chosen. It means you were asking for something they didn't know how to give. There's a moment that replays more than any other. The moment you left, and they didn't stop you. The silence afterward. The space where words should have been. Your mind returns to it, not because you want to go back, but because your heart is still searching for understanding. Replaying that moment is your brain trying to rewrite the ending, trying to find a version where you felt chosen. But healing doesn't come from changing the memory. It comes from changing what the memory means. They didn't chase you, not because you weren't worth it, but because they didn't know how to meet you where you were asking to be met. You don't need them to confirm your value now. You already lived it. You showed up. You tried. You stayed longer than was comfortable. Walking away wasn't a failure. It was clarity. What peace looks like after they didn't chase you. Peace doesn't arrive as certainty. It arrives as relief. Relief from replaying the silence. Relief from wondering if you asked for too much. Relief from measuring your worth by someone else's response. One day you realize the ache has softened, not because the moment stopped mattering, but because you stopped fighting it. You understand that being unchased was painful, but it revealed something important. You were ready for depth, they were not. And that truth, once accepted, changes everything. You don't need them to reach out now. You don't need an explanation or an apology. What didn't chase you also didn't deserve to keep you. That doesn't make them a villain. It just makes you incompatible at that moment in time. You didn't lose something by walking away. You made room. Not every goodbye is loud. Some are quiet, unresolved, and deeply personal. But they shape us just the same. You may never know what they felt after you left. You may never hear the words you wanted, and you don't need them anymore. Your value was never meant to be proven by pursuit. It was always present in the way you loved, showed up, and chose honesty over comfort. Walking away didn't mean you weren't chosen. It meant you chose yourself. And that choice, though painful, was powerful. If this story felt familiar, it's because you lived it. Not every goodbye is loud. Some are quiet, unresolved, and deeply personal. And if you weren't chased, it doesn't mean you weren't worth fighting for. It means you were ready for depth they didn't know how to give. If you're learning to stop questioning your worth, like this video, if you're choosing yourself instead of waiting for clarity that never came, comment, "I chose myself." And if you want more stories that heal without blaming and help you move forward without closing your heart, subscribe. You weren't unchased because you were unworthy. You were unchased because you were ready for more. Today, you finally listened. If you're ready to choose peace, comment, "I choose myself." Like this video if you're done questioning your sensitivity. Subscribe if you want reminders that love should feel safe, steady, and whole, not something you recover from. You're not late, you're right on time.